sufficient enough. And of course, when we expand, there might be a little bit improvements to current technology, but it's not enough to justify the risk that we expand. The opponent didn't say whether current somatic editing is infeasible and cannot work. And in fact, America is not treating gene therapy as equivalent to any other technology. And U.S. health officials are now eliminating special regulations for gene therapy experiments, saying that what was once exotic science is quickly becoming an established form of medical care with no extraordinary risk. So there's no need to expand. The current system is working well. And second, we talk about the bubble scenario, the technology bubble scenario. Bubble, and this argument has not been brought up in the summary speech of the opponent. So the opponent in the rebuttal, they said that whether it's held by privately owned companies. However, we would like to clarify that whether it's held by privately owned companies or not, it doesn't matter, because experts already warned that we're moving too fast on this technology, and this is not the right time to expand access. And this evidence, in fact, is written in 2018, this year, not in 1999. The example we gave is from 1999, but this card is written in 2018. Quote from our opponent that people will have the opportunity to access these technologies, which is exactly the reason why we cannot get the public to invest blindly in this technology. The result will lead to a market failure that will collapse. The global health depends on biotech markets, which are the key to prevent famine, reduce global warming, and produce medical treatment. And now I would like to mention about the environment. Our opponents said that they're helping the environment, but however, this belongs to the con territory, because they are using mosquitoes to hurt other animals. They're only concerning the interests of the human, and this is why environment should be favored by the con. And now the impact clearly said that the con will win this debate.
Thank you. We will now have a 3-minute grand crossfire. All teams ready? 3, 2, 1.
First, I would like to clarify that actually we did mention biotech bubble in our summary speech. Our opponent might have misheard it. Okay, we have given it. I refuse to say it again, and now it's my turn to ask.
All right, you can ask a question.
Yeah, to be fair, we'll let you ask first.
Okay, sure. Will scientists be biased by money say that CRISPR is bad?
Okay, let me just respond to this really quick. So we have already mentioned that these scientists are run by the private sector. The company gives them the money, and if they come up with new results that sound interesting, the companies will give them more money. And this is why they want everything to sound perfect and spot clean.
So
However,
they
once
won't
we
want
expound,
to say it's bad.
but listen really quick. That was the private sector. This is the status quo. But we want to expand this to public health service. According to the United States Public Health Service, we expand this to the environment. Once we expand this to the editing of the people that have cancer, this obligation to sound spotless, this obligation to sound spot clean, will be just gone. But you don't have any evidence.
You want another response?
Yeah,
okay,
our
sure.
question
You'll
specifically
cover
is that you in the summary speech said that scientists will also be incentivized to lie on our side. However, our question is, will scientists be incentivized to say that their technology is bad and people should not invest in it?
Okay, so let's say if everyone believes in your argument. Now, the only way I can prove that CRISPR will work now is to do an experiment right here on this table to prove that CRISPR is going to work. So now you're making this debate meaningless by saying that your argument is bad.
No.
My argument is bad
No,
too.
we're winning
With the
this
same
one
logic,
point.
we can say that every single piece of argument we both teams read in the
but
two
it's not-
contentions are meaningless.
It's not logical.
Would you like to debate that way?
Okay, you can ask the question more.
I thought you were going to explain, or are you?
You want us to explain?
Oh,
Okay,
you don't want to explain.
Okay,
Yes,
let me just ask a question real quick. You've already said that in the status quo, we've already expanded this technology, that everyone is able to...
So everyone can get
Yes,
somatic
but
editing.
where has the environment kicked in? According to the United States Public Health Service, the environment is part of public health. Has gene editing been expanded to public health?
You are harming the environment because
No,
you're
I'm not
saying
harming
that
the
you're
environment.
editing in mosquitoes. You're
Okay.
you're
I just
missing
wanna
the
clarify-
vision
I just wanna
that you're
clarify.
asking other animals to be
Let me clarify one thing. Mosquitoes are only one example. We've mentioned GHG gas reduction. We've mentioned electric creating bacteria. We've mentioned so many other technologies that you have just ignored.
Public health.
And by the way, mosquitoes, we are not killing them, as we have mentioned. We're just hindering their size, so they have more difficulty.
I understand
in
that,
breathing.
I'm not
That's
hurting
why
you.
it's
Okay.
hurting the environment.
Okay,
because
so
mosquitoes
let
will
me
target
ask
the
you,
otter.
which is more important as the public health service, which cares about humans humans or mosquitoes. If the
That is exactly real where you are in arguments.
Let him finish his
if the government, if the public health service saved 200 million lives, 220 million lives per year by solving malaria and other mosquito-carrying
WHO,
diseases, even if it hurts mosquito populations a little bit, it is what the public health service system
But it
should
also
do.
covers
Thank you.
other aspects of the environment.
Speaker 2, final focus.
Let me have all my prep time.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much time do I have left?
1 minute, 20 seconds.
All right, thanks.
Time.
All right.
2 minutes.
So, judges ready? My opponent's ready? My final focus piece starts now. So first of all, in order to determine who won in this debate, we have to go back to the framework. We have to see why each person wins inside their own framework. My opponents have said that based on whatever they're advocating for, as long as we prove that the benefits are bigger than the threats and that the benefits are bigger than the risks, then therefore we win this debate. Judge, we fit in both our opponent's framework and our framework, and this is why we win in this debate. Now on to the major voting issues. First of all, one major voting issue is the environment. We've brought this up many times. However, my opponents have only subsidized this by saying that because of some mosquitoes, because of them transplanting them into malaria, which is basically non-unique, which is basically what they've been doing for a long time, is somehow going to harm the environment. However, they have no evidence for this. But we have the evidence from the United States Public Health Service that we are saving 220 million people according to the WHO. Moreover, another big flashpoint inside this debate is the bubble economy theory. First of all, like our opponents have already conceded in this debate, that this was because of the public sector. However, if we increase this access to the public, this means that the scientists won't be able to hide everything. They won't be able to claim that everything is spotless and clean, so that the economy trusts them. They also claimed about fear and how fear and certain biases will hurt this sort of gene editing technology. However, we have already brought up in our rebuttal, in our summary, about Larry Gibbardson. He clearly said that because the people didn't trust in the genomic editing was because that this wasn't introduced. Judge, we are advocating for public right health services to be expanded because we want people to have the right to choose to learn about this technology, to choose to apply it to their own bodies. We're not going to be like them and let 220 million people die just for no reason. Judge, we have a bigger impact. Our opponents have been complaining throughout this entire debate. However, we have solid evidence, whether it's on humans, whether it's on mosquitoes, whether it's on the environment, we are saving people and we are saving this environment. According to all of these points and according to why we fit in this definition as well as how our opponents' threats don't fit our benefits, we win this debate. Thank you, Judge.
Can we use the rest of it?
45 seconds. time.
Okay.
2 minutes.
Everyone is ready? The calm, finding focus speech starts now. Okay, so this is what's going to happen in the pros world. They're going to expand this technology. And then what happens? They already conceded there is going to be a risk. So this risk happens, then public backlash happens, and the market closes down, which leads to public health to close down. So then all their advantages won't exist because the welfare system is just gone. And here's the reason why we still win the biotech and the backlash argument. They say that because it's in the private sector, then these arguments won't happen when they expand. But as long as scientists are gaining money from their system, then scientists are biased. And are they saying that scientists are just going to work for the government for free? That scientists are going to work without pay, and they're going to be very truthful about everything they say, and they're going to labor hard without getting any money and any financial interest? They're not. And that's why that's why our argument still stands, because scientists will get paid wherever they go, and they want to push this technology forward. Because if the technology is open to the market and more people have access to this technology, then they'll get more money, and that's why their financial interests will bias them, no matter if it's in the private sector or the public health service. And also, the private sector does not answer to our biotech arguments. The only way that people won't invest in biotech is that no private sectors exist, which is never going to happen. They cannot shut down our private sector, so people will invest. They see this technology as a technology that has a great future, and so they will invest it. But as long as 2 out of 18% of a risk happens, then they totally shut down this technology because they don't believe it no more. So this is not about how pretty they say it, and it's not about whether benefits it can grow, how many people are they saving. Those people they're saving are already dying. So don't let other people die. Other people are already benefiting from somatic gene editing. So if you take the pros world, then more people are going to die, and they don't save that to the 2 or more than a million.
Thank you.